Morning and welcome to Pain Management Arizona. I am Bob Miller. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I specialize in therapeutic massage and medical massage. This is not just basic massage. This is real pain relief for lasting relief from headaches, migraines, back pain, sciatic pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, all these pains you've been taking medications for, going to doctors for years or even decades and not getting any relief from. What I do is neuromuscular trigger point therapy. It's basically when you're getting these weird pains that nobody can explain, you've got knots in the muscle. We all know what knots in the muscle. In my industry, we call them trigger points because this is a knot in the muscle that's up against a nerve or wrapped around a nerve. So it's basically interfering with the signals that are traveling through your body. It's kind of like when you plug a speaker wire into something and it's not all the way plugged in and you hear a buzz or a hum coming over the speaker. Same concept. The nervous system is the electrical system of your body. So when something's interfering with it and it's not getting a nice, clear signal, the brain doesn't know what to make of it. And when the brain has a signal that should be telling it hot, soft, cold, hard, something normal, but it's not normal, the brain thinks it must be pain. There must be something wrong. So it tells you, hey, there's pain in this area. You better pay attention to it. See if there's a thorn sticking in you or something. So what I do is I check the muscles along the nerve paths from where you're feeling the pain, and I can find and feel where these knots are. And I have a very gentle, passive way of releasing the knots. I release the knot, the pressure's off the nerve, and the pain goes away. It's really, really basic, simple. People have been fixing each other for thousands of years in this manner before they found out how rich they could get off of pharmaceuticals. I do have 2 locations right here in the Valley. I have one in Peoria. That's at Sonoran Life Solutions. It's a counseling office, a beautiful office there. That's at about 94th Drive and Thunderbird, right off the 101 freeway out in the avenues. And the other location is right in downtown Phoenix. It's at 7th Street between McDowell and Thomas at Urban Wellness. Another beautiful location. They have yoga classes, meditation classes, and a lot of other natural health care practitioners. You can go to my website, go to Pain Management Arizona, all the way spelled out, .com. That's painmanagementarizona.com. Or you can call me directly at 541-END-PAIN. It's 541-END-PAIN, 541-END-PAIN. Gets you directly to me. I can talk to you about what's going on with you and if we can help you out. I do have a 98% success rate, completely eliminating or relieving pain issues, as well as ones that people thought they had to live with for the rest of their life. Serious stuff, the hip pain, the sciatic pain, low back pain, migraine headaches. Migraines are just really one of my favorites to do because migraines can really be a debilitating condition for people. And people have told me, oh yeah, I've been getting migraines for a lot of years. I've been on all these medications. I've been doing this and seeing neurologists and specialists and they're still getting the migraines. They come into my office, often with a migraine, and within, probably halfway through the session, their migraine's gone. And then I'm just cleaning up all the extra knots out of the muscles that are causing it to happen, and they don't get migraines anymore. A 98% success rate. I was just doing a little research. I saw a TV commercial for a migraine medication that was it Emgality? That they claim, in their study, people with 15 headache days per month, 28% had their migraines cut in half or more, compared to 15% who took a placebo. So people that were taking, basically, sugar pill type concept, absolutely nothing, 15%. So you got to subtract that from their 28% they're claiming because you know, taking nothing helped 15%. So that gives them 13%. That's around 1 out of 10 people who are paying about $7,000 a year. It's $575 per month, $6,900 a year, and injecting themselves once a month with this chemical. 1 out of 10 people had their migraines cut in half or more. The people I deal with are people that most of them, they're getting migraines 3, 4, 5 times a week. Not what these people are claiming. Oh, these people had migraines 4 or 5 times a month, 15 headaches per month, but migraines were. And it's like, come on, people, you're trying to get rich off people's pain. Yeah, it's just really kind of a sad state of affair when all these companies are just giving you these drugs and, you know, just trying to convince you they can help you. And what I do is very affordable. I only charge $60 per hour, which is about half of what you'd pay if you went to like Massage Envy or Elements or Hand and Stone massages, which I've worked at all these places. I also was a top massage therapist at the Marriott Resort and the Hilton until I had to just open up my own business because I did not I rarely ran across people that came through any of those places that did not have some sort of issue that they wanted fixed up. I don't really do the fluffy, nicey nice Swedish massages. And, if you want to go pay $100 to one of those places to have somebody just rub you and make you feel good, that's fine too. It's good for you, good for the body and all that. But my main focus is pain management. It's not even management, it's pain elimination because so many of these problems can easily be fixed. I've had several people in the last couple months that have come to me with big scares with chest pains. All three of them that I know of, they went to the hospital. One lady actually called me from the emergency room to book an appointment because they did the EKG, they did all the tests, and found nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with your heart. You're fine. And they booked an appointment with me. They've been getting chest pains, and the really strange part of it is what I try to instill upon people is most of the time where you're feeling the pain is not where the problem is. If you're getting chest pains, a lot of times, I mean, I'm saying if you do get chest pains, definitely get it checked out by a doctor. But there's nothing, if they can't find anything that's, heart related or anything, come see me because most of the time your chest pains are going to be from your back muscles. The back muscles are tight. They're on the nerve that wraps around all the way to the front, and you're feeling it in the chest. If you get headaches, the headaches are coming from the shoulders and the sides of the neck. People come to me with a headache. First thing I ask them, I say, where in your head is your headache? Is it the top of the head, back of the head, across the forehead, behind the eye? Depending on where they normally feel the headache, it tells me which muscles are tense and knotted up. And that's where I need to go to find the knots, gently release the knots, and the headaches stop. I mean, not only the headache you have will be gone, you won't be getting headaches like you used to, if at all. I have a lot of people. I had one lady had come to me when I worked at one of the fast food places of massage a couple years ago. She had come back after 3 months. I had worked on her once, and she told me she had migraines. I worked out all the knots that I knew were causing her migraines. I didn't see her again for 3 months. She came back, and I asked her, I said, has your migraine situation been since I saw you 3 months ago? She said she had not had one migraine, only had one slight headache once in that 3 months, and had thrown away all her migraine medications because she found she didn't need them anymore. And she had spent 7 years suffering with migraines and taking meds and still suffering with the migraines, even though she was taking the meds. But it got a lot of doctors and pharmacists, Mercedes payments made over those 7 years. What I do is natural, safe, gentle. It's neuromuscular trigger point therapy. It's finding the knots in the muscle. If you feel your own shoulder right now, you'll probably find some hard spots in that big muscle of the shoulder right between where the shoulder bends in your neck. That's the upper trapezius. That's one of the big places people get knots in the nerve. You're in the muscle that's on the accessory nerve that innervates with the facial nerve. That'll give you the headache that goes behind the eye. When it's real bad, you'll actually feel your headache along the lower edge of your jaw because that's where that nerve goes. I know the nervous system. I know the muscular system. I know how to relieve a lot of these things, and it's really, really simple to do, and very affordable. Like I said, it's only $60 per hour, which compared to the $100 you can pay for a Swedish massage, that's not going to do a whole lot for your pain. I have two locations. If you don't want to drive all the way out to Peoria, you can see me in Phoenix. That's about 7th Street between McDowell and Thomas. It's at Urban Wellness. Great little facility there. Or if you want to go out to the Peoria location, I have availability there 6 days a week, anywhere from 7, 8 in the morning if needed, all the way up to 7 or 8 at night if you need. I work around other people's schedules, and that's at Sonoran Life Solutions. That's out in Peoria on 94th Drive and Thunderbird in the Medical Plaza there. And as I mentioned, I only charge $60 an hour, and you can get more information if you go to I'llFixYou.com. I have a lot of great stretching charts, ebooks, all sorts of great stuff there. I'llFixYou.com. I'll fix you. Or go to the other website, just as easy to remember, painmanagementarizona.com. That's painmanagementarizona.com. And the phone number, write this down, remember it, whatever you need to do, give it to a friend that you know is suffering with pain issues. 541 end pain. That's 541 end pain. Call that number, go to the websites, allfixyou.com or painmanagementarizona.com to find out how to book an appointment. You can book directly through the website if you like. Also sell e-gift cards. If you know somebody that has pain issues, you can send them a gift card right to their email, prepaid, and they have no excuse not to come in and get their pain to go away. But there has been just a whole slew of issues about the pharmaceutical pain management. That's it's they're calling it a crisis because it is a crisis. There are people dying every couple minutes from overdoses of opioids in this country. I mean, that sounds like a bizarre claim, but yes, the number of people dying, there are people dying every few minutes of opioid overdose. It actually has been upgraded. It is more likely you will die of an opioid overdose than in a car crash. The odds of dying in a car crash are 1 in 103. Odds of dying of an opioid overdose are 1 in 96. So more people are dying of, and these pills have just been given out like crazy. These powerful painkillers. Americans eat up 80% of the entire world's supply of opioids. The opioid painkillers that are manufactured in the entire world. America, we are eating up 80% of all this powerful drug. And other countries, they wouldn't dream of giving prescriptions for these or giving pills just for someone to take home with them. They only give it to people who are at end of life or major trauma in the hospital. Uh, They actually just recently, it's come to light that the FDA had taken the guys that do the labeling, that the OxyContin, one of the most powerful of these painkillers, with the studies, they do studies to determine, are these safe for human consumption? And then if so, how often and how long can people be taking these? And it was determined that it should only be taken temporarily for short-term use. The FDA paid the guys that worked or the big pharma paid the guys that worked at the FDA that did the decisions on the labeling to be consultants for them. I believe it was like $35,000 a piece for a couple of hours to come in as a consultant and convince them to change the labeling to long-term round the clock use with no new scientific evidence, nothing showing it was safe. And, they made billions and trillions of dollars, but, hundreds of thousands of people died for it, and they're still, you know, left and right. I've got to do a little more research, see if they're getting on the stick and getting these labels changed back, getting the restrictions put back in place. But it's really scary that the greed of the pharmaceutical companies, they want to make the money. They don't care who dies in the process. They're changing labels to put unsafe medications in high dosage into people's bodies, and people are ending up dead over it. And there is such a simpler solution: neuromuscular trigger point therapy. It's a massage therapy technique that I've developed. It's very simple, very basic, and works. 98% of the time, I get lasting relief, permanent relief from chronic pain issues. People that have had neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, hip pain, headaches, migraines, most of the pains that people experience, unless you've had a severe injury where you've broken a bone or cut into tissue, it's normally always going to be knots in the muscle, tight, tense. The only reason a muscle will be tight is because there's knots in it. What a knot is the muscle is made up of fibers. Like when you tear apart a piece of chicken, it comes apart in little strings. That's how small muscle fibers are. When a muscle is held tight for long periods of time, tightened suddenly, over tightened, or impacted, some of the fibers get stuck in the tight position. And these fibers run from one end of the muscle to the other, so the entire muscle is unable to go back to the relaxed position again. And when that knot starts to grow into a cluster of knots, it's actually wrapped around a nerve or right up against the side of a nerve, which is giving you false signals to the brain, and your brain is trying to protect you by telling you it's pain. It stops blood flow, so you got trapped blood in there that has nowhere to go, no oxygen, no nutrients. So what I do is I apply gentle pressure when I find each cluster of knots, get it to release, pressure's off the nerve, pain goes away. That simple, that basic. I get people asking me why I'm not charging 100 or 150 or $200 an hour for this fabulous type of treatment I do. And it's because I don't have that greed that the big pharmacies have. I've got a couple different offices around the valley I can work out of, beautiful little offices. I don't have a lot of overhead. I'm not greedy. I'm happy. Life is good. And my motivation is I want to help people. I want to get people out of pain. I had one guy that wanted to start up a business with me, charge people $250 an hour for 4 appointments. So people got to drop $1,000 every time they, sign up with him. And he wanted to base this business off of my skills. And I told him, I said, your motivation is completely wrong. All you got dollar signs in in your eyes. The little dollar signs are bouncing around in your head. If you're going to be able to do this, you got to have the compassion. You have to have the caring. You have to want to help people to get this, to be able to do this. I mean, there's no magical power to it, but if you don't have the desire to help people, and you're all focused on the almighty dollar, like pharmaceutical companies are, and unfortunately, a lot of the doctors' offices as well, they spend a lot of money to get those degrees. They want got to get it paid for. They got to feel they got to make the money. But that's another thing is people, listen to their doctors as if they don't think their doctor can ever be wrong. There's 4 groups of people in our lives that we think can never be wrong. That's our parents, our teachers, doctor, and clergy. As we grow up, our parents never lie to us. Our parents never say anything that's wrong. When we're in school, teachers, they're teachers because they know everything. They can't be wrong. Clergy, if you're a religious person, you believe everything the clergy says. And then doctors, they think, oh, they've had so much education. They call it a practice of medicine because it is practice. They are learning, they are trying things. They call it a second opinion because it is an opinion. It's not a fact they're stating. They're like, "Oh, let's try this medication. Let's try this therapy." Because so much of it is so unknown. I went to the Barrows Neurological Institute a couple months ago for a seminar on headaches and migraines. I was the only person there that was not a medical doctor. I gave my card to several of those doctors and told them that I have this 98% success rate with headaches and migraines. And they were amazed. They were in awe but all they talked about in that whole seminar was drugs, medication, dosages, nerve blocks, trigger point injections, which the trigger point injections really scare me because that's really bad for your muscle tissue and they're normally injecting you in the wrong part of your body. I had a elderly woman that came in, 92 years old. I worked on her a few years ago. She had severe pain in her back and had gone through 2 series of trigger point injections into the muscles in her back. When I started working on her, I found the problem. The knot was in her chest, her upper chest. As soon as I touched it, just the lightest pressure, she almost went through the ceiling in pain in her back when I touched this knot in her chest muscle. I got it to release, and her back pain was completely gone. And that was from one knot in the chest that was affecting the back. And they had been injecting this medication into her back that all it does is degrade the muscle tissue. And she's 92. She's not going to recover that well from that kind of stuff. I had another young lady. She had been run over by a car when she was 20. She's now 30. And for 10 years, she had a constant headache, hip pain, and pain in her leg. I didn't even get her on the table. I was just at a store talking to her about what I do. And I put my hand on her hip and felt where this big knot was, held onto it, got it to release. And her headache went away that she had had a daily headache for 10 years, as well as her hip felt better and her leg. And that wasn't even having her get on the table and doing a full session with her. I didn't even charge her. I just showing her what I did, fixed her up. So many things can be so easily fixed with just simple working the muscles, getting the knots out of the muscles. Things go back to normal. And you want to do activities that prevent getting the muscles to knot up, such as staying hydrated. Your body, the entire body runs on water, every system of your body. Stay hydrated, drink at least half your body weight in ounces every day. You know, that's a minimum. If you're in the air conditioning all day and not out in the heat, it's starting to really heat up now. Drink half your body weight in ounces. That's the rule. Do stretching exercises. That site I told you about, I'llFixYou.com, ILLFIXYOU, I'llFixYou.com. A lot of great stretching charts. It shows where the muscle is that you'd be working. Look through the stretching charts. You'll see, hey, I kind of have pain in that area. Start doing that stretch. If it feels good, do it. Never stretch or do exercise where it hurts. No pain, no gain, and feel the burn are 2 of the worst pieces of advice ever given. So if as soon as you feel pain, back up a little bit. Hold it where you're not feeling pain, because that's where you get. Don't bend down your head down to look at your cell phone. Hold your cell phone at shoulder level. You know, don't have your computer monitor off to the side. When your hands are on the keyboard, the computer monitor should be straight in front of you. Have your shoulders, the keyboard, and the screen nice and parallel with each other. There's so many little things. I educate people when I work on them and fix their pain as well, and how to prevent these from coming back. Again, 2 locations, Phoenix on 7th Street between Thomas and McDowell, in Peoria on 94th Drive, and Thunderbird. 98% success rate, especially migraines and headaches. Easy fix, back pain, easy fix. Most shoulder pain, hip pain, leg pain, knee pain. Check it out. Come and see me. I can get you fixed up, hopefully get you off the medications and have you living a pain-free life. So check out the website, painmanagementarizona.com, or call me at 541-END-PAIN. That number again is 541-END-PAIN. Affordable, only $60 an hour. We can get you fixed up, get you feeling good, get you back to living your life without pain. Pain Management Arizona, painmanagementarizona.com. Phone number 541-END-PAIN, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
The information and opinions you hear on this radio show are those of the host, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of KFNX, its affiliates, management, or advertisers. Visit.
North Korea now says it was conducting drills when it fired projectiles this weekend. Correspondent Paula Hancock.
We've just got some new information from the Defense Ministry here in South Korea, effectively agreeing with North Korea that it was multiple rocket launchers we saw being tested, and also that weapons